Tonight on Patriots Unfiltered on TV, primed to take care of business. On a short week, the Patriots make short work of the New York Jets. The emergence of Trayvon Henderson and what his role might be in the offense the rest of the season. And next up, the Bengals. How Joe Flacco has turned them into one of the NFL's highest scoring offenses.
Patriots Unfiltered on TV is brought to you by Toyota's official website for deals, buyatoyota.com.
Bolton in the end zone, touchdown, Patriots! And who caught it? Trayvon Henderson, a hat trick!
After falling behind early, the Patriots have a rookie lead them to victory.
3 touchdowns for Trayvon Henderson. That's 5 now in 2 games for the rookie, as New England becomes the first team in the NFL to 9 wins. Hello again, everyone. I'm Alex Francisco, and this is Patriots Unfiltered on TV. In a season that has already exceeded expectations, the Patriots clinched their first winning record since the 2021 season, and they are hopeful the best is yet to come. Let's huddle up now with Paul Perillo and Mike Dussault. That is 8 straight. The Patriots continued their win streak over the Jets on Thursday Night Football, and it wasn't always pretty, but they haven't been perfect in this recent stretch here. But they keep stacking the wins. Paul, Mike, what was most impressive about getting this one on Thursday Night Football?
Maybe just getting it. I mean, you knew the Jets were a little bit overmatched and they might be at a turning point, but for the Patriots on a short week, kind of regroup, had some injuries, people were banged up a little bit. Again, just did enough, Paul. I think that's what it was. Just did enough, got the win, got out of there, didn't turn the ball over, played clean, and here they are. They got a nice little longer extended break here in the middle of the season.
Not only they didn't turn the ball over, but they, 2 penalties in the game on a Thursday night, third game in 12 days. So again, this team continues to show a lot of resiliency and just mental toughness, and that sometimes can make up for what you lack on in the margins for some other areas. Maybe that it's not the most talented roster, Mike, in football, but right now you'd be hard pressed to find a team playing any better.
I know Vrabel says it's all about the players. He says that almost after every game. But I feel like with a stretch like that, getting these guys prepared, ready to go for 3 games, what does that say about just the program he's built here in the half of the season?
Mike Vrabel's come here. He had previous experience in Tennessee, had a year off, had some chance to really focus on what he wanted to do to rebuild this team, and it's hard to argue with the results right now. To have 9 wins at this point in the season, I think it's a lot. I don't think I would have seen this many coming.
And we've seen so many times over this 8-game winning streak that sometimes the offense leads the way, sometimes the defense leads the way, and then when one of those units tends to falter, the other one generally picks it up. I just think it's one of those deals where Vrabel has really gotten the buy-in, the culture is transformed overnight. Mike's right. I mean, maybe the record isn't that much different than a lot of people had hoped, heading in, but I think the manner in which it's gotten there has been very surprising and a pleasant one.
It feels funny to even say this because he's been so good, but it felt like a little bit of a bounce back game for Drake Maye. Really poised, really controlled, especially in the pocket, as opposed to maybe the last 2 games for him. But how'd you guys feel about Maye's night?
Yeah, I mean, give credit to the pass protection up front. I thought that was, not to say that it's been bad recently, but I think they could have been better, and they were better in this game. And you can just see when Drake Maye has the time and he's taking that time, he's really hard to stop. He's finding open receivers, and you're right. That, to me, is what stood out the most.
He looked comfortable right from the start of this game, and we've had a few games, all year long where it kind of takes him a little bit to settle in. And this one, he didn't really have that period of time at the beginning where some of the throws were high. He was dialed in from the start, and I agree with Mike. The poise in the pocket was what really stood out to me. I thought he was really quiet in the pocket, kept his eyes downfield. Really nice job, I thought, by the 2 tackles in this game. Morgan Moses and Will Campbell, I thought, had their best games. And they did. They gave him some time, and he was able to deliver and, take what the Jets gave him. I thought he was surgical in this one.
Trayvon Henderson, I don't think they really set the world on fire with the run game, but 3 touchdowns. How have you guys felt like he's improved in this recent opportunity he's been given?
Yeah, I like what you said, getting opportunities, and we've seen some flashes. It hasn't been consistent. Giving Trayvon Henderson these opportunities to make some mistakes, to, see some different looks, and just kind of get thrown into the fire without Ramondre. I'm hopeful that this can help jumpstart his season here as a rookie, and hopefully when Ramondre Stevenson does come back, Patriots are going to have a really good 1-2 punch.
If you can run the ball in the red zone, they were able to get a couple of short touchdown runs, one of which was exceptionally well blocked by everybody. I thought every offensive lineman dominated on that, I think the second touchdown that Henderson had. Just run it enough and give Drake Maye a little extra time, so it doesn't have to be all on his plate. And then I think that also helps set some other plays up.
Milton Williams left this game early. Felt a little hopeful when he comes back in for a snap or two, and then the Patriots go ahead and they put him on the IR. Yeah. I know what he'll mean going forward, losing him, but just how did you see that affect them as a defensive unit in this game?
I mean, it's hard to say that it didn't affect them. I mean, he's been just such a key player for them, and more than just the stats, it's been about his energy and his pursuit and the tone that he sets between Tonga and Durden. They've had some depth there to, offset that loss a little bit, but there's no question. I think this defense, their pass rush has been kind of middling to me, and it needs to be better as they get here down the stretch against the good teams. It does not help to not have Milton Williams in there. Other guys are going to have to step up, including off the edge.
Couple of weeks, there have been some signs, maybe of them being mortal, because they haven't been bad by any means. But here's another thing that might be a trickle-down effect of this is you're using Tonga a lot on offense. So now does his role increase on defense to the point where maybe you don't want to have him do both? So that's how the injuries tend to have a trickle-down effect.
Mini-bye felt like the only real natural halfway point, kind of, but with the injuries stacking up, I mean, could this break have come at a better time?
Yeah, they need it. And I mean, I've spoken about this before. I think your schedule's getting a little weird now, and you've had majority of 1 p.m. Sunday games. There's been a routine. There's been obviously a win streak that goes with it. Now you had a short week. There's a long week, I've heard, Paul.
Thanks, Bill.
We're on the long week right now. But can the Patriots manage this kind of strange schedule over the next couple of weeks? We're on a regular week this week. They'll be on Cincinnati 1 o'clock, but then long week, Monday Night Football, then the bye week. So, you said, Alex, earlier in the show, you had a bunch of games in a short period. Now they're going to only have a couple games in a longer period. Can they maintain this momentum and stay sharp? That's my big question.
And they've handled all of these tests along the way. I find this one no different.
Still to come on Patriots Unfiltered on TV. We'll preview the battle with the Bengals, Fred Kirsch on the culture change in Foxboro, and I'll go one-on-one with running back Trayvon Henderson.
Patriots Unfiltered on TV is brought to you by Cross Insurance, official insurance broker of the New England Patriots, and by Sports Illustrated Tickets, 50 million sports, concerts, and theater tickets. Same seats, better prices. Fans deserve better.
You're watching Patriots Unfiltered on TV.
What's up, everybody? It's Evan Lazar. It's the Unfiltered Film Room. We're going to break down this Bengals defense. Drake Maye looking for that first 300-yard passing game. I think he's got a good chance to do it against this Cincinnati defense that has struggled this season. So one of the big things I see this Bengals defense struggling with on tape is communicating pre-snap motion. When teams motion or shift at the snap like the Steelers are going to do here, how are we going to sort this out? Who's going to have who in this coverage? So as we pause the play right here, you're going to see these two corners trying to sort out this stack alignment right here between DK Metcalf and Roman Wilson. So they have to decide which guy has which on these releases. As we roll the play a little bit longer, it looks to me, as we pause it right here, that Dax Hill and DJ Turner are both covering DK Metcalf at first. Roman Wilson on this sail concept. You clear out the sideline here. You have a little flat down here at the bottom of the screen. This is called the sail route right there, and that's going to be wide open as we roll it a little bit longer. 17-yard completion right there. So I think the Patriots, with their sophistication on offense, use a lot of motion, use a lot of window dressing, really stress the communication and the rules of that Bengals defense, and Drake Maye is going to light it up.
We are on to Cincinnati. Bet you didn't guess I was going to say that. But this matchup looks a lot different than the beginning of the season before the Bengals lost Joe Burrow. But, they've added Joe Flacco into the mix with their star receivers, and putting up points is not an issue for them. Unfortunately, stopping them is. So what have you guys seen with this defensive unit on the Bengals that has led to this struggle?
They have struggled to stop opposing offenses, and that's really what it comes down to. No Trey Hendrickson last week. That's a huge part of what they do. And so you hope that the Patriots now can really take advantage of this team.
Yeah, this is a team that the Patriots, you want to like start talking about Drake Maye and MVP and all that kind of stuff. This is a stats game for the Patriots offense.
Yeah.
Having a chance to sit back and watch the NFL over the weekend, you watch some of the pregame shows, several like former coaches, former players have referred to the Bengals defense as the worst they've ever seen. Not the current worst in football, the worst they've ever seen.
Joe Flacco has an absolute cannon. We mentioned the Patriots secondary maybe didn't come out with their fullest potential to play the Jets. This one's going to be different.
Oh, I think it starts getting pressure on Joe Flacco, and that's, look, he's an older guy, and he doesn't want to take a lot of hits. We saw him take a couple hits last week against Pittsburgh that, I think those start to add up after you get over the age of 40 a little bit. There's been a few catches over these past few weeks from Joe Flacco to Higgins that just, you don't even know how he's going to come down with the ball, and Joe Flacco has the trust to throw it down there.
Yeah, they have weapons, and I wouldn't leave out Andre Yosevich as well. A guy who has made a lot of big plays for them. Noah Fant is a reasonably productive tight end. They don't run the ball all that well, which the Patriots have been really good stopping the run. But this is a game that Flacco likes to throw it around, and when the Patriots have seen Flacco get hot, you can't send extra bodies after him either because you're going to need those guys in coverage. The guys up front need to win their one-on-one battles.
We talk about these lucky breaks that the Patriots always get, and we knew that the Bengals are going to be out without Joe Burrow. But now they're going to be without Jamar Chase as well, suspended after that game against the Steelers.
I mean, I feel pretty torn because on one side, you love to see Christian Gonzalez, Jamar Chase. That's a premier matchup in the NFL. But at the same time, for a Patriots team that's coming down to their final 6 games and playoff seeding is, in question and the division is still up for grabs, I'd say it is a little bit of a break, but disappointing not to be able to see best against best.
Mike, you know my phrase, right? What's my phrase?
Always works out for the
It always works out for the Patriots.
Get that on a tattoo.
This was comical. I mean, you're watching the games on Sunday and you see a fight, come out with Ramsey and Chase. I immediately start texting my buddies, like, you can kiss Chase goodbye for next week. No, only Ramsey got one. I go, just wait.
Yep.
Just wait. And I had no idea, what was going to happen, but I've seen this play out before. When the Patriots are at their best, Alex, they get these kinds of breaks. This is an enormous advantage for the Patriots secondary to have them only worry about Higgins and Yoshivas instead of Chase. This is a big, big break.
All the discussion about the easy schedule, I think it's still really impressive to string 8 straight wins. If they can string 9 together against the Bengals and then head into a really tough, inconsistent stretch in terms of, your routine and your schedule, but then you have the Bills, the Ravens, the Giants, that's an interesting one too. How do you guys hope to see them close out strong here?
I just want to see them continue to try to progress and to round out their game. And, I don't think there's any question right now that they're kind of pulling together with, without much of a running game. I mean, Ramondre Stevenson's been out for a few weeks. They can't consistently move the ball on the ground. It's been all on MVP Drake Maye. And at a certain point, if you want to make a run in the playoffs, you want to make some noise against the better teams, you want to, knock off Buffalo here at home in a few weeks, you want to go into Baltimore against a team that's probably going to be on the cusp of getting in the playoffs and really desperate, you're going to need to round out your game. You're going to need to have better pass rush, and you're going to have to find a running game. Those 2 elements, to me, down the stretch, the Patriots can find those 2 things. I think they'll be in position to make some noise in the playoff.
I'm now joined in the studio by Patriots running back Trayvon Henderson. Trayvon, 5 touchdowns in 2 games. A nice little hat trick against the Jets. How does it feel to be kind of breaking out here in this last stretch of the season?
Yeah, first and foremost, I thank God. I couldn't have done it without him. And I thank the guys up front who do the dirty work and make my job easier. And so, I got to get a credit to those guys, of course.
Of course. And, I know you pray for an opportunity like this to come to you, but you also have to be putting in the work on the side to be able to receive what you're praying for, right? So Tell me about that work and how you stayed ready through the first half of the season to take advantage of this opportunity.
It helps me to go hard. It helps me to go the extra mile. And like I say all the time, I've gotten to know my teammates really well, just hearing their stories. And, it just makes you want to go the extra mile for those guys. When you get to connect with those guys, you put in the work with those guys. And so, I'm thankful to be playing alongside of them.
What did you pick up from Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson? You come into a really good group of vets. It's a strong room, and then next thing you know, it's kind of you. So what advice have they given you that's helped you kind of come into the spotlight here?
Those guys are pros, of course. They have had a lot of success in the league, and so I got to pick up you know, a lot of things from them. Just the way that they go about their business, just the way they come to practice each and every day, and how those guys prepare. It just taught me a lot.
Against Tampa Bay, your 50-yard touchdown, you hit 22.01 miles per hour. Fastest of a rookie ball carrier all year. Was that like your max speed, or you think you have a little more?
It didn't feel like it was that fast, but hey, if it was 22, it was 22, I guess.
Yeah, guy trying to hunt you down, but.
I know, right? Maybe I got a little more in the tank. I don't know.
Okay, I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah.
Mini bye week for you guys. I saw you out at a Celtics game.
Yeah.
Was that your first time at TD Garden or checking out the Celtics?
First time. Yeah, first time. And so I had a great time, you know, watching those guys hoop. I wasn't expected to get put on the Jumbotron, but
yeah.
It got a little crazy after that, and so, but I still had a good time.
Some of your teammates were courtside. Where were your seats?
My seats, I told them put me in the regular seats because I wanted to go undercover.
Okay.
And when they put me on the Jumbotron, I texted the person, I'm like,
cover blown.
I'm like, look, y'all should have just put me on courtside if I knew I was going to get put on the Jumbotron, but
well, you had people thinking you like logged on to Ticketmaster like any random person to just enjoy a basketball game. So you did have a hookup. You just didn't want to be the center of attention?
I didn't, but hey, I might have to go Ticketmaster next time.
Okay, yeah, you do. They'll hook you up with some nice perks. Before I let you go, you guys will hopefully be getting Ramondre Stevenson back. Just how important would it be to have him come back this last stretch for you guys to kind of just keep pushing with the running game and help open things up for the offense?
Ramondre is such a great back. I've learned a lot from Ramondre. I pick up so much from watching him play, and so man, it'll be really good to have him back, and so we're hoping for that.
Thank you, Trayvon. Best of luck in Cincinnati.
Appreciate you.
And we'll be back with more Patriots Unfiltered on TV after the break.
Patriots Unfiltered on TV is brought to you by Cross Insurance, official insurance broker of the New England Patriots, and by Sports Illustrated Tickets. 50 million sports, concerts, and theater tickets. Same seats, better prices. Fans deserve better.
You're watching Patriots Unfiltered on TV.
Does good culture make for winning, or does winning make for good culture? How about neither? It's the head coach who sets the culture from day one, and depending on how talented a leader the head coach is, he gets his best players to buy in. Once they do, players fall in line or they fall off the team. Whether or not winning follows depends more on talent than anything else, but a good culture paves the way for coaches to coach effectively, team-first attitudes, and camaraderie. It's tough to win without those things. Sometimes, with a highly talented roster, winning can mask a bad culture, but not for long. Eventually, a weak foundation will fall at the first signs of adversity. Want good culture? Get yourself a talented head coach, not just X's and O's talent, leadership talent. Next, get yourself coachable, talented players willing to buy in. If one of them is a player like Drake Maye, you're well on your way to winning.
The Patriots have struggled to consistently run the ball this season. Ramondre Stevenson had been the lead back until he was injured, but in the last 3 games, Trayvon Henderson has shown his explosive talents. So should Henderson be playing more when Stevenson returns? That's the debate in this week's Trash Talk. Here are Paul Perillo and Mike Dussault.
Paul, a hat trick of touchdowns for Trayvon Henderson against the Jets. This is what we've been waiting for. We saw it this summer. This kid is explosive. He's a game changer. Now, yes, I'd like the running game to be a little bit more consistent, but I see this kid as being the key to this Patriots offense and their running game getting to where they need to go. Ramondre can come back all he wants, but I think they should ride Trayvon as much as they can here down the stretch.
So I love the way you talked about Henderson, and I totally agree with that. We talked about it all summer. He gives you a little bit of, electricity back there that you don't get with Ramondre Stevenson. That said, when Stevenson's ready to come back, I want him to be the lead back, the every down back. I think if you're going to ask Trayvon Henderson to get up upwards of 20, 25 touches a game, he's going to wear down. He's not built for that. He wore down when he had that kind of a workload earlier in his career at Ohio State. I love Henderson. I love his explosiveness. I want it in small doses. He's one of those guys, Mike, to me, the more he gets the ball, the less productive he gets.
I hear what you're saying, Paul, and I also would say, big opportunity here as Ramondre's been out, and to give kind of a jump start to Trayvon's development. We know wasn't being used that much. Now they kind of had to use him. But at the same time, is it too much to ask that maybe these guys be interchangeable at least when Ramondre comes back to get some early down carries to Trayvon Henderson. I just don't want to see this become Ramondre first and second down, and here comes Trayvon on third downs. I think it might limit him too much. I want to make sure that this explosive kid has enough chance to make a difference.
So I'm with you. It doesn't have to be just a third down back role. Give him a series. Give him, a couple of series here or there. You start off with Stevenson. Maybe the third series of the game, this is going to be a Henderson series. And he gets a first down carry or two. But I don't think he's as effective between the tackles as maybe some other people do. I think he is strictly one of those guys that gets the job done, A, in passing situations as a runner, and B, on the edges when they hit, those little toss cracks and whatnot, and they cave down the side, and he gets the edge because he has that explosiveness. I want the ball in his hands, Mike. I just don't need it in his hands every play.
Fair enough, Paul. I think we came to an agreement there. Now we'll see how Henderson does this weekend and how much he touches the ball against the Bengals. Stay tuned for predictions after the break.
Now back to Patriots Unfiltered on TV.
All right, it's time for some predictions. This is the 29th meeting between the New England Patriots and the Cincinnati Bengals, and Patriots have taken 18 of those, winning 4 of the last 5 in Cincinnati. So no struggles on the road there. Patriots are 7-point favorites, and the over-under is a healthy 50.5 points. Mike Dussault, will the Patriots notch their 10th win of the season?
I have to say yes. I mean, against this Bengals defense, the way Drake Maye and the Patriots offense has been playing, I think they've got a very good chance to win this game. But I see it similar to that Thursday night game. Maybe not quite as sloppy and slow, but still just kind of methodical, slowly pull away. I think the hits are starting to pile up for Joe Flacco. I don't see him being able to produce the kind of 40-plus points that he did a few weeks ago. So I'm going to go with Patriots 27-13.
Okay.
I like the Patriots offense a little bit more than Mike does in this game. That Bengals defense was eye-openingly bad when I watched in that second half, especially with Mason Rudolph playing for Pittsburgh, and they couldn't get off the field. I'm looking at Drake Maye to have a big day. I'm going to say 38-24 Patriots.
Okay. I fall somewhere in the middle of you guys. I hope they feel rejuvenated after a mini bye. Maybe you can get Ramondre, maybe Kayshon Boutte back into the mix. And Patriots 30, Bengals 17. That's going to be it for this edition of Patriots Unfiltered on TV. As a reminder, you can catch the 3 of us every week on Patriots Unfiltered on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from noon to 2 p.m. on Patriots.com. For Paul Perillo and Mike Dussault, I'm Alex Francisco. We'll see you next week.